Hey guys, WLJK here. Finally here to help out with the tech time, with the little tips that I can offer you. I'm going to split the ideas up in different sections, um, much like I did with the actual tech time. I'm going to cover first part, this part. I'm going to cover the computer. The next part, I'm going to cover the hardware and cabling, and lastly, the last part will be the software, which I may refer back to the first part, which is the PC. So anyway, um, start out with PC, which is the most important thing. Um, of course it is. Now, I'm going to say this. First off, I'm not going to turn around and tell you guys you have to buy this, you have to buy that. That is up to you guys. But this is just tips that I have seen. So let's start out with the PC itself. Do you need a high-end PC? No. Would it be nice to have one? Yeah, of course. I know people, matter of fact, I know a lot of LPers, Let's Players, that play on notebooks. Now, would I suggest playing on notebooks? No. It's doable. Notebooks are too, shall we say, closed source, I shall call it. You can't really expand it much. You're limited. Namely, you can't upgrade the graphics card. You can upgrade the processor if you know what you're doing. But other than that, it's not such a great idea. Now, in the case of like me, I got an extra notebook laying around. I'm using it for something else. I'm using it for a Skype client, which I haven't set up yet. But that I'll get more into with the software. And if you turn around and decide to, say you have an old system and you want to build a new one or buy a new one, keep your old one. You can always make a server out of it. Now, I don't mean a game server. And if it's powerful enough to be a personal Minecraft server, then you're in luck. You and your brothers or your parents or, whoever can turn around and play Minecraft together. You just run the server on your network. Or you can do like I want to do, which is not only run a Minecraft server, but put all my music on that system. I don't need the music or the videos that I have purchased on my main system. I can put it on a hard drive in the server. So with that being said, the idea of a price range for a system, give you guys an idea. I'll give you the breakdown of mine, okay? My case cost me like 40 bucks. That was the cheapest, well, second cheapest thing. It was actually not the cheapest, believe it or not. So you think I spent 40 bucks on a case. I spent 60 bucks on a power supply. The board and the processor cost me probably another 150. The memory cost me 29 bucks per 4 gigs. So you're looking at 60 bucks. By the time all said is done, okay, just the tower, once it's all said and done, you're looking, I would say, give or take 100 bucks, probably about $800. Now, that's handy if, excuse me, I'm trying to find something while I'm talking. That's handy if you know how to turn around and build your own system. Now, give you an idea. If you have ever opened up your computer system to add a hard drive or add memory, you have enough knowledge, or even change a video card, you have enough knowledge to build a system. It's not that hard. My experience with store-bought PCs, I've bought 2 of them. After the second one, I said, enough of this. I built my own, because the second one, I turned around, replaced, and upgraded so many things. It was practically a new computer anyway. So, needless to say, and that was back in the day of the Pentiums. That was when everything went over the 200 megahertz mark. That's right, megahertz, not gigahertz. So, give you an idea. But that's just the CPU, or just the tower. Now, is there a sound card in there? Yes, I used the onboard audio. I don't put a sound card in it. It's built in. Network card, built in. Matter of fact, it's got 2 ports in it. I don't need any more. USB ports. I got, I think, 4 ports left open. My particular board has USB 3.0 ports in it, and I actually have them running. I'm trying to think what I have running on those. The Hauppauge and the webcam. Mainly because they're oddball equipment that would work better on their own bandwidth, because the USB 3.0 ports run on a separate bandwidth, a separate channel than the 2.0s do. Now, are they running at 3.0 speeds? No. But, you know, that's besides the point. So, that is the hardware aspect. Now, another thing, speakers. Am I using anything special? I'm using a set of, I think they're about 10 years old. I don't even know the model on them anymore. They're still being made, but they're Logitechs. They're like Z. I don't know if back of my speaker has the model on it or not. Let me see here real quick. Nope. They don't. I know they're still made. I don't think they look the same as they do now. They might have updated the way the speakers themselves look. Keyboard and mouse. Yes, I just now got a gaming keyboard. I've been playing PC games for all the way back to the Commodore 64, back in the mid-80s. But I don't count the Commodore 64 and the later Commodore Amiga 500 that I had as true PCs, because they were all-in-ones, okay? They were all-in-ones before the all-in-one fad happened now, you know. But the moment of the separated PC, you know, the Pentiums, the Athlons, all your modern day PCs where you have a separate tower, separate monitor or monitors, and a mouse and keyboard, this is the first true gaming keyboard I bought. Has it helped? Yes, it has helped, especially in Minecraft. You don't need a gaming keyboard if you're a casual gamer. So, excuse me for a second. I'm going to pause it for a second here, guys. Sorry about that little hiccup in the video, guys. I apologize. It's the lady that used to live upstairs and her kid that they don't know how to talk quietly. They argue at each other constantly. Well, they no longer live upstairs. Thank goodness you don't hear them bouncing around. They live downstairs, and they just decided to all have an argument out in the back hallway. Don't know what they were saying. They were yelling in Spanish, so I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. I speak a little French, that's about it. And it's not the good words either. But anyway, where were we? Keyboards. A decent keyboard. I don't think you guys need a speech on keyboards, nor mice. Tell you the one thing, my tip, my personal opinion, don't buy cordless keyboards and mice. Not for gaming. Spend a little extra money and get a keyboard that has a USB cord on it, because I tried wireless mice, And I've had it where the mouse worked great. Then the battery died. I replaced the battery, resynced it like it was supposed to be. Worked great for the first 2 days and then it quit working. I've had 3 mice that have done that. I don't trust the wireless. That's just my opinion. But anyway, and webcams. Might as well mention last 2 things. Webcams and monitors I'm going to mention. The microphone I'm actually going to mention in the with the hardware, with the cabling. Webcams, I picked this little, once again, it's a Logitech. I picked it up for like $60. It's not a bad little webcam. What you see with me on YouTube is actually recorded in 720 and re-rendered into 720. Only reason why it's re-rendered is so I can get the file size smaller. It does do 1080. It just doesn't do it that great, and I don't feel that you need a 1080 video of my face all the time. Let's put it that way. So that's the webcam. Now monitors. Now here's some some tips and tweaks and tricks that I've learned about monitors in the past few days. Okay, I am presently running a dual monitor setup, which is nice, especially if you are recording something. For instance, the Levi's Nightmare. When I was recording that, I did not have to do an Alt-Tab to get out of Minecraft to read the notes. All I had to do was put it in the pause screen, move the mouse over, and read it from the other screen. Now, that's handy. The one thing I would suggest that if you go, I personally think at least a dual monitor for recording is handy. Because if you turn on, if you catch my update video for the 14th of February, I mentioned that I had put in XSplit, which was handy because I turn on keep the XSplit software running on my secondary monitor while the game was playing on my main monitor. Now this was handy because then if you've ever seen like Gassy and them do a live stream, occasionally you get them doing some weird stuff and parts show up on the main screen and the stream. With the way I have it set up, it don't show up that much because the program's on the other screen. Now with that said, do they have to be the same resolution? They don't have to. It's a little trickier if they're different resolutions. My main monitor is 16:9. It's a 1080p monitor. The other one is an oddball 5:4. It's like 1024 by 768 or some weird. It's a weird resolution. I don't even know what it is. Let me bring this up. I'll give you an idea. I don't know if it'll show. It's 1280 by 1024. Give you an idea. It's an oddball. So it's an oddball monitor. Now you might go, okay, well, if you're those of us, and this is me included, those of us who run AMD video cards, we can have one video card run triple monitor. Yes. Do you really need triple monitor? Unless you are a hardcore gamer, you don't need anything above 2. Hardcore, I'm meaning somebody that wants, the 3D, have a monitor here and have 2 of them on their side so they feel like they're in a cockpit of a flight simulator. You don't need a large monitor setup. Is it nice? Yes. My opinion, if you want a larger monitor, there's my big monitor right there. If I get tired of this little screen right here, if I get tired of this, I run my HDMI over to that 42-inch computer monitor. I nearly quadruple the actual screen size, not the resolution, but the screen size of what I'm seeing. But I did find out something. Like, for instance, I'll see if I can bring, you won't be able to see this, but I just want to make the specs correct so that I don't look like a dumb. And that was the wrong way. Screen resolution. There we go. All right. The main monitor is 1920 by 1080. That's the one that I am looking at the present moment, or when I'm playing a game. The other monitor is a 1280 by 1024. Now the bad thing is, and I hope this don't interfere, if I go in Camtasia and do the whole screen, it's actually 3200 by 1080. That's what the entire desktop is really registered at. So if you have a 1280 by 1080, or I'm sorry, 1920 by 1080, so it's actually going to be a 3840 by 1080. So it'll give you a nice wide screen. Only problem is you're going to have that, you know, your center bezel, however you pronounce it, you're going to have the frame around the screen in the middle. But it's nice to have your, for instance, when I'm recording Minecraft with Camtasia, the Camtasia screen's on that side. If I'm running, if I decide to do XSplit for streaming, XSplit's running on that screen. So it's not on the main screen that I'm trying to run. So that's another tip that helps. If you turn around and want to get into the streaming, a second monitor is handy. You don't need it, but it's very handy. And like I said, my system, I can actually run 3 monitors off one video card. It's just I have to buy a DisplayPort adapter, which is kind of weird. I got 2 DVIs. Why can't I use the HDMI as a third one instead of DisplayPort? Something stupid. But now, for instance, like my system, I am running the 2 monitors on the one system. Now, in the future, I'm hoping to have a total of 3 monitors. Now, you might be saying, hey, wait a second, you just said you don't need 3 monitors. True. But the way I'm setting mine up is, and if you've seen my other video, I want the 1080 for gaming, which is the present monitor I'm looking at. I want the one over on this side for my meters. I have, you know, CPU usage, memory usage, network usage, drive usage. That way I'm not having in the middle of recording go, oh my goodness, how much hard drive space do I have left? I can physically see it off the glance corner of my eye. Also, it's nice, it's got my weather and the clock up there, so I don't have to have the taskbar up. Minor, you know. Now with the 1080 monitor, I can get more stuff on that screen. So what I want to do is turn around and have this 1080, have a secondary 1080. That way I can have the XSplit and whatnot there. But I want this current monitor hooked to the notebook that's presently in my center desk drawer, which it is hooked. I can switch back and forth in a couple keystrokes. But it's nicer if the, let's say the Skype client, which is I'm going to run off the notebook, is going to have its own monitor, so it's easier to see. Make it simple. As my philosophy is, you got to keep it KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. But anyway, I've rambled on long enough about the hardware. If there's any other questions for hardware that you guys want to ask, go ahead and ask. Well, I should say for the PC side of hardware. Go ahead and ask. I'll turn around and answer them if you want, if I can. So this has been the Tech Time Tip PC/hardware. I say /hardware because there's going to be another part with hardware. So I shall catch you guys later.